This is Monica Miller with Looking for Group. I'm here today with Josh Steger from West Virginia University Kaiser. He's the head coach of esports, and he's going to be telling me a little bit about his program today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Happy that you're here. Thanks for giving the time for this interview. Hopefully it won't take too long, but I just want to know first, right off the bat, how did the program get started at your institution?
So our institution saw esports as a great opportunity to reach a different niche of students. So I was actually brought into our institution from hired in. So like I wasn't even at our institution before our program started. So once I got here, I was actually tasked with building the program from scratch. So
Wow.
that was from no club players or anyone to really fall back on to kind of put into our program. So everyone was actually physically recruited for our first year.
Wow. So you had to start from the ground up and literally had to build a community before even building a program. So
Correct. Yeah.
how did you do it?
It was difficult. So being in the location that we are and being part of the West Virginia system, our students are a little bit different. So they didn't understand the real importance of competitive gaming. A lot of them were a lot more on the casual side. So it was really just connecting with those casual gamers and being like, hey, this is still something that you can interact with, even though you're not really at the level of wanting to compete for like the highest possibilities of like a championship or championship ring.
That's awesome. So that actually transitions really well into my next question. How are you, I guess, dividing or I guess bringing together both the same, trying to find the differences and the similarities between the casual and competitive sides? How are you bridging the gap between those different communities? Because typically they both do their own things, but then they come together for certain things. And just wondering what the dynamic is like on your campus.
Yeah, so I would say you need to look at casual and competitive kind of like a guild or an alliance. So you'll
Wow,
always
that's a
need
good
those
analogy.
casual players. You need those casual players to like really build up like your community and your group. So they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be in your streams or the ones that are gonna be talking about the team on social media or even around campus. So those casual players always play a key factor. So you don't really want to exclude them at any point in time. And then also they can be a really good tool. So if you're trying to stream or you need broadcasters, team managers, moderators, people to be in your Discord constantly. Those casual players, they're like those are your go-to people. Now, when it comes to like my competitive guys, they're usually all recruited to come in, so they understand the point of interest of why they're here, and they all have the common goal of they want to get better and really compete. So that's kind of how we bridged our gap and making sure we're kind of all on the same ground and no one's necessarily better than the other, but my competitive players do receive scholarships compared to the casual players on campus.
Well, they're playing in more high stakes competition, so naturally it makes sense. So, what games are they playing and competing in, and are they playing in any leagues at the moment?
Yes, so our first year we only played in Fortnite, Rocket League, and League of Legends, and then and also Madden. With the success of those teams, we actually ended up branching out. So we just added on Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, and Apex Legends to our roster. So those are really good teams that we have so far. We're super excited to see them in action as well. But we currently compete in NACE and we currently compete in the ECAC. And then we will join like some different leagues here and there, depending on the stake. So we usually always join the publisher leagues. So like when it comes to the Rocket League CRO, we'll do that. We do the CDL for our Call of Duty team. And then we do the Siege as well. So it
Wow,
depends on what's up.
sounds like you guys are really involved.
Yeah, my guys love to compete, so they're always asking me for either scrims or games. So I always want to make sure that I put them in the right opportunities to get exactly what they want out of this experience.
Very awesome, very awesome. Setting them up for success for sure.
Yeah.
So, going into the next, switching gears here, can you tell me a little bit about the facilities you may have on campus? What kind of gear that you have? What kind of space you're using? Peripherals? The whole nine.
Of course. So let's start off with the thing that people want to know the most is, what are our computers like?
Yeah.
Well, they're all latest of the tech. So we go i9 2080s. Currently, we have 12 PCs, but with the growing of our program, we're actually moving locations coming up here shortly to expand from those 12 PCs. So we're hoping to hit around the 24 mark. So that's how fast that we've been growing. So it's pretty amazing. So next, with coming to like our peripherals, we use I buy power for our PCs. We use Razer Krakens headsets, and then we usually have people bring in their own controller or mouse and keyboard because everyone has their own preference. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to force you to change something that you like. But we do give you the option of if something breaks, we can purchase gear for you. But then that gear is owned by the school. So once you kind of leave, it kind of stays with us in that aspect. Sometimes it comes to a situation where we're actually allowed to give you those peripherals. So those are always a cool experience for students. But something that's really unique is that we give all of our students gear. So that is a custom jersey with their name on the back, a custom hoodie with their name on the back, custom pants as well. So that's our entire uniform. So our jerseys we'll wear one day for a tournament, and let's say the next day we got to compete again, and we'll switch over to our hoodie. We'll be good to go. So all of that is free of charge and comes with the program. And then next, this is kind of like the biggest thing that people love when they come and compete with us is we actually let our players keep their tournament earnings. So we only take 10% of $1,000 or more, and that goes right back into our program. And after that, our players have all that scholarship money to have as their own.
Wow. Those are a lot of perks now. I wish I could honestly sign up for this program. That sounds awesome. You had me at the hoodies. I'm definitely a hoodies person. But that is something that is really unique about the program, and that was my segue into the next question. But since you already answered it, I'm going to ask it from a different angle. So are there any academic or experiential learning opportunities that you're offering that are unique as compared to other institutions with programs?
Yeah, so right now, our main campus is actually in the process of working on an esports major. So that is
Oh, okay.
something that we are trying to get up and running. How fast? I don't know. So there's like some red tape that they got to go through, but
Yeah.
hopefully they're pretty shortly. So there's that. And then we also offer free tutoring with our team. So one, we do a study hall twice a week. So we make sure everyone shows up for that. Almost every single student is in the same major or they're at least sharing majors or classes. So that helps out in that aspect. And then free tutoring. So we make sure that if you're having problems or if you need some help or if you just don't know if you want it, but we like just make sure you have that option to go to it. We always make sure that's available for like all of our students. So there's that. And then we've been tying in with our well, we're part of our athletic department, but with our athletic trainers as well. So the program on campus, they are actually developing a program of where our students can learn certain stretches, certain things about body posture, and then just certain exercises to one, help performance, but also help reduce injury.
That is really unique, actually. You're the first person who's touched on that fitness bit a bit, and that's kind of my favorite thing to talk about. But can you tell me a little bit more specifically about the health and wellness initiatives for your teams?
Yeah, so we talk about this as soon as we get on campus, and that's like one of our big things. As soon as like we bring all the teams together, my first thing I always say to students, I'm like, so everyone thinks that gamers are not fit, which is false. Some of you guys are coming from athletic backgrounds. Some of you guys have some medical issues, but you all have the capabilities of being, fit. It's just how you want to view fit. I say first is your diet. So your diet is going to help your mentality. Like if you look at your plate and you don't see like a green item, that's probably a problem at that point in time. So make sure we're getting some greens in our diet. Next, whenever we're in the arena, we're sitting for at least 2 hours. We actually stand up and we start to stretch. So we work on those key stretches that were available to us from our athletic trainers. So we can, not stiffen up and in the middle of the game, feel relaxed and ready to go. And then we'll do some fitness aspects as well. So nothing too rigorous. We just want to make sure that people are getting some type of that 30-minute of day activity that revolves around esports. And then for my guys and girls who are like really into fitness, I do allow them to go out and express their fitness needs as much as possible. If that's lifting weights with one another, or if they need myself or the athletic training staff to come up with like a program for them, then we will do that as well. And then we also use fitness as a way to kind of get people out of the stereotype of using bad words and being toxic. So, if you are being a very toxic person to your teammates or someone out in the game, we'll have you take some laps like a traditional team. Or if you have that physical limitation, then we won't do laps, but we'll figure out something else so that you understand that gaming is a privilege and it's also fun, and you don't have to do it in a mean and toxic way.
Wow, that is very enlightening. I think you are bestowing a lot of great knowledge and life skills onto your teams, but you're really investing in them, I think, from all angles, is what it sounds like. I am curious, though, how do you hold them accountable for completing their exercise and diet type regimens?
I'm there for like the
All
entire
right.
process. So like whenever we're doing exercises, I'm always there. I'm always watching. Like so, I'm more of a hands-on coach. So I help out with every single one of my teams. Well, I coach all of our teams besides our League of Legends team. We have someone else that comes in and he takes the primary role, and I'll take the secondary role in that. But yeah, I'm there. I'm 100% hands-on. Sometimes I might even run a lap with them. I'm like, well, now I have to run because you did it, and I just feel bad. So that's like another thing that brings the kids together, and like they're like, oh man, now coach has to run with us, so I should get my act together. Sometimes they're just like, man, coach is running with us, so this is kind of cool. So
I like that.
just
Getting your hands dirty. That's dope. Awesome. So the last and final question I have for you, because I'm sure the students watching now are probably like, you had me until the fitness thing. But not really. They're probably like, yes, that's awesome. I'd really like to get physically fit. For anyone who's interested in this program, what's one thing you want them to know walking in? It could be something about the program specifically, some tips about applying, or just general advice, whatever you want to say.
Walking into this program, I basically just have to say that, what you give is what you will receive. So I am the type of coach, and everyone else on the team, we are people that if you are going to give your all and you are going to be all in with us, then we're going to make sure that you receive the experience that you want to get. And that's from either you wanting to perform at a higher level, if you want to build some friendship and bridges, or if you want to go out into the esports industry eventually and you need to interview with some specific people or get some internships, we always want to make sure that we put you in the right position to do so. Just like last week, before the start of our Madden season, our team actually was talking to a professional Madden player named Avin, to, get the spirits rolling, get the juice pumping for our first game coming up here shortly.
That is awesome. Well, I think that's a good cap on this interview. I just want to thank you again for your time today, Josh. This was a really good chat.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course.